We're going to take the next 6 minutes to do the relaxation together, and then we will look at the painting. This is how we always start our sessions after we've all said hello to one another and checked in and see how we all are. We sit in a chair and we take 5 minutes to relax, to put some very gentle music on and arrive into our bodies, arrive into perhaps moving a little bit more slowly than usual, letting our busy minds still a little bit, and preparing ourselves to look at the paintings in an embodied way. So, take a moment to make sure you're sitting comfortably. Make sure there's nothing that's in the way around your feet or on your lap. For this first bit, it might be nice just to take your glasses off and put them somewhere near so that you can find them again easily when we finish the relaxation. And remember, this time is for you. This is for you to enjoy, to relax, and we're going to do it together. So here we go. Okay, so let's begin. We're going to take the next 4 minutes to sit comfortably, to relax before we begin to look at our painting today. And there's no right way of doing this or wrong way. It's simply about enjoying, relaxing, enjoying the music, taking the moment to slow down. So make sure your back is supported by the chair. Make sure both feet are resting on the ground. And bring your hands to your lap. One hand on each thigh. So very slowly we're going to begin to move our hands along our thighs, keeping the bones of the fingers in contact with the bones of the thighs. Bringing your hands towards you and then slowly stroking your hands away. This is really good for helping ourselves relax. Letting your breath come gently, easily. See if you can bring your hands to a stop and just take a bit of movement into your fingers as if you're playing the piano very slowly. And just take that bit of movement into your wrists. Not really thinking about it, just letting your wrists and your hands move to the music. Again, there's no right, there's no wrong. Do whatever feels comfortable. Lovely. And then we're going to take our elbows, lifting them up at the sides slowly and stretching out our arms. Reaching out to either side of us, just letting our breath come gently, softly, bringing the hands back down to the lap. And we're going to do that again. Lifting our elbows out to the side, floating them up, and then stretching out the arms. That's it. And then slowly bringing our hands back to our laps. I'm going to take one hand and let that hand float up, slowly like a feather, reaching high above us, or as high as feels comfortable. And then again, floating that hand back down to your lap. And the other hand floats up, reaching as far above as you can go. Perhaps reaching for the sky. Bringing that hand back down again, softly, gently. bring both your hands together and just give them a slow, soft rub. And then bring the palms of your hands to your eyes. Rest your eye sockets right into your hands as if you're leaning forward into a warm nest. And taking your fingertips, begin to massage your forehead, softly feeling the bones of the face. And then taking your fingers to the temples of the face and finding the cheekbones. And then moving the fingers along down to the jawbone. And slowly bringing those hands down along the front of the throat, down towards the heart. Just resting both hands over the heart for a moment. And then continuing with the hands down over the belly, right back to where we began. Hands in the lap. Shoulders relaxed. Just bring your shoulders for one final movement, back up to your ears, and then relax them back down. Lovely. Let your breath come slowly, easily, and rest. And when you're ready, we're going to open our eyes and we're going to begin to look at our first painting. Today we're looking at a painting by Alfred Sisley called Rue à Louveciennes, painted between 1875 and 1877. Before we begin, let's just remember to turn off our phones and settle ourselves in a comfortable position. Take the time to ensure nothing is in the way of you sitting or lying comfortably. All you need to do now is follow, join in, and enjoy. You may have a printed copy of the painting near you, or you may be looking at the painting on a screen. Make sure you can see the painting well, and make sure you're comfortable. So let's take a moment or two to take in the painting. Notice those wild squiggly clouds in that turquoise blue sky. And just take in the scene. And already there are clues as to where this painting was made and what era. But just notice what you're attracted to in the painting. What stands out for you? Where is your interest? And just thinking a little bit about where the artist sat as he made this painting and what he wanted us to think about in his painting. So now let's take another step into looking more fully, into noticing more, and let's begin with that glorious sky and really look at those clouds. You can see the brush stroke, wild, fluffy, moving, scuttling clouds. Let your gaze drift slowly across the painting, noticing where the white cloud shifts into blue sky. Noticing all the different colours of blue and all the different colours that make up the clouds. Some are more dense and some are more opaque. Is it just the one colour you notice? Or do you see other colours peeping through? Notice the movement and the flow of the shapes of the clouds. As we move our gaze across, we also come into awareness of the roof tops, the chimneys standing high into the sky. And again, we can really see the brushstroke of the painter. Can you follow the movement of the artist's brush? And notice how the sky is drawn into the top of this street, almost as if there's a tunnel created by the houses on the left side and that terribly lush tree on the right-hand side. Noticing the pinks and reds of the roofs and the greys and the greens of the shutters. And then finally letting your eyes relax into that wide street and noticing the characters, loosely shaped, no distinguishable features, but we can see people leaning against the house walls. We can see people in conversation, some in the further distance, some closer to us. And just think for a moment about how the painter has showed the shadow of the houses, picked up the sunlight on the tree leaves, picked up the bright sunlight on the street, using so many colours. It's hard to pick out just one or two. How many colours can you see in that wide street, sunlit? It's interesting to think about where the painter has placed himself. On a corner of what looks to be a peaceful street, a tranquil street. So let's walk into this landscape. Let's take a leisurely stroll down the street, perhaps listening in to the conversations of the people as you pass by. Imagine, if you will, the scenes inside the houses. Or are there shops, and what might they be selling? Are the shutters at the windows open to take a peek inside? And are there smells wafting through? What time of the day do we think it might be? Is it lunchtime? Or is it siesta time? Listen out for the sounds of the street, footsteps on the cobbles, children at play. Smell the air, maybe the washing hanging out to dry. You might be walking towards our painter, sitting on his street corner with his easel, quickly but carefully capturing the moment in front of him. Or you might be heading down the hill, round the corner, down the sloping street, and what is beyond? What is out of sight? So take a last moment to hold the painting away a little bit so you can take in the picture as one whole. And just notice the qualities of this painting and how it makes you feel. Does the scene remind you of somewhere you have visited or a street you have known? And think about how you might describe this painting to someone who has never seen it, someone who has never been to this country or had the pleasure of that bright sun on their skin. Do you like this painting, and would you have it in your own home? And if you did, where would you hang it? So, Alfred Sisley was born in France to British parents, and although he spent most of his life in France, he kept his British citizenship. He was part of the Impressionist group and exhibited alongside Renoir and Monet. He was dedicated throughout his artistic career to the Impressionist ideal of painting landscapes, cityscapes en plein air, meaning outdoors. Like Monet, he would take his portable easel, his tubes of oil paints, and head out to the countryside or to picturesque towns. Louveciennes is a small town in the north of France, west of Paris. Nowadays, it's probably a suburb of Paris. It was a popular place for the Impressionists to visit, and Sisley painted the town many times. We hope you enjoyed this painting. Good to have another painting familiar to us, and good to have moved. Good to have listened and relaxed to the music, and thank you.